Hi, and welcome to this Track Wrestling help video. Our customer support team at Track Wrestling is committed to helping you run a great tournament. The intent of this video is to give you easy step-by-step instructions to help you set up and run your best tournament ever. In this video, we will learn how to make bracket changes after brackets have been built. A common issue that comes up when running a tournament is someone being in the wrong bracket. This is easy to fix and important to learn how to do. First, you need to look at the brackets. You will need to know the bracket that the wrestler is coming out of and the bracket that they are going into. If wrestling has already started, you will want to check to see if there are results on the bracket. If there are already results, you should not make any changes unless there is a bye on the bracket that can easily be replaced with a wrestler. Rebuilding brackets deletes the current results and videos if you're streaming, so make sure you handle this manually. In this video, we will show you how to handle both situations. For our first example, we will say that Stephen Hall was put into the 45 to 49 pound bracket and that he needs to be in the 41 to 44 pound bracket. To start, we're going to go to our 6 and under group, and we're going to look at the bracket. So here we see the 41 to 44 pound bracket has 4 wrestlers on a 5-man round robin. So there will be a bye there. We're going to click in, look at the bracket, and we do see that there's byes. So we'll close the bracket, go back to the weight classes, and click on the 45 to 49 bracket. Here we'll click on Stephen's name. And then in the weight class field, we'll select the bracket we want to move him into and hit save. The page that opens will be a menu with options on how to handle the bracket changes. The first set of questions is how to handle the bracket that the wrestler is being taken out of, and then the second set is how to handle the bracket that the wrestler is being put into. So since I'm using only 5-man round robins, there's no need to change the bracket. We're going to replace the wrestler with a bye. We could change that to a forfeit if we wanted to, but we'll leave it as a bye. And then here, if we select redraw, this would redraw or shuffle the whole bracket. We could also shift the seeds if this was a seeded bracket. It's not, so we'll just leave it as nobody. You do need to know though, if you are going to redraw everyone, you would not be able to shift anybody. Now for the second set. For the bracket that the wrestler is going into, since there are no results, we'll go ahead and let the system automatically create that bracket. If there were results, we would want to manually add the wrestler to the bracket by just selecting manually. We're not going to change the bracket. I'm not seeding these brackets, so there's no need to pick a seed, and we will not redraw anybody. We'll hit finish and type finish. And here we see that Stephen was taken out of this bracket. And if we go back to the 41 pound bracket, we see that he was added. We'll take a peek at the bracket. And we see that Stephen was added where there were byes. Also note that the bout numbers are now missing. So since this bracket has been rebuilt, the bout numbers were replaced, and we'll have to go back and re-add those. I am using an assign to mat system, so I'm going to just make note that this was mat number 2, and I'm going to renumber mat number 2. For our second example, we have a 4 and under that was put into the wrong bracket. So we're going to go back to our groups. We'll click on 4U. And so little Mitchell Cherry was put into the 31 pound bracket, and he should be on the 33, 36 pound bracket. So we're going to look at the bracket he's going into. And we see that there is a buy that we can put him in at. And we also see that there are some results. So we're going to want to add Mitchell to this bracket manually. To do that, we'll go back to our weight classes and go into the 31-pound bracket. And click on Mitchell's name. We'll select the bracket he's going into and hit save. Now, for the bracket that we're taking him out of, we're not going to change the bracket type. We're going to replace him with a buy, and we'll leave redraw and shift at nobody. Now for the bracket that he's going into, since there are already results, we want to manually add him to the bracket. So we're going to select manually here. We do not need to change the bracket. I'm not seeding my bracket, so there's no need to put him at a seed, so we'll leave that at no seed, and we're not going to redraw the bracket. I'll hit finish, and then type finish, and OK. And we see that Mitchell was taken out of this bracket, and he was put into the 33-36. So we're going to click on that. And now we see that Mitchell is listed, but he's listed with a no seed. So that means we need to go in and add him to the bracket. So we'll click bracket, view bracket, and here we're just going to replace the buy with Mitchell. So we'll click on the blue line. And when this page opens, you use the drop down to select Mitchell's name. Type the word change. And now Mitchell will be listed at this bout where the buy was. You would need to go through and replace Mitchell wherever there was a buy. Type the word change. And then he would be where the buy was. We'll just go ahead and do that for the last two. And now Mitchell is on the bracket. Note here that wherever there was a buy, since I had my number scheme set up to not number buys, those matches now do not have a number. So we'll have to go in and renumber mat 1 as well. So once you're done making all of your changes, you would just go to Setup, Number Schemes. We're just going to reapply the number scheme. Here you could select freeze existing bout numbers, and this would leave the bout numbers as they are and just renumber the matches that do not have bout numbers, or you could unfreeze the existing bout numbers. We'll go ahead and freeze. That way there's no confusion if bout numbers change. Hit continue, type apply, and now if we check our bout schedule, we see that all of our matches have numbers and we're ready to continue wrestling. Thank you for watching this Track Wrestling help video. Our customer support team is here to help you with any questions that you may have. If there is anything else that we can help you with, please use the support tab located in the top right corner of the page to reach out to our customer support team. Thanks, and we hope you have an amazing event.